All men are created equal, but your protein powder is not. Say what?
You think you're fueling your body, but what if the protein shake you trust most is quietly fooling you instead? Behind the bold 30 grams of protein promises and muscle-flexing ads lies a darker truth most companies don't want you to see. Independent tests have uncovered something shocking. Some of the biggest brands are quietly cutting corners, giving you less protein and more junk than you think. They're laced with fillers, additives, heavy metals, and misleading labels that trick millions of Americans every day. And the worst part? Some are still sold as healthy. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might never look at your post-workout shake the same way again. If there's one brand that symbolizes America's protein obsession, it's Premier Protein. You've seen the boxes in Costco, the commercials during NFL games, the endless Amazon reviews shouting "best protein ever." But behind that friendly branding lies one of the industry's biggest scandals. In 2019, Premier's parent company settled a $9 million class action lawsuit after being accused of inflating the protein numbers on its shakes. The labels promised 30 grams per bottle. Independent testing found less. Premier denied wrongdoing, but the damage was done. A product built on trust had been exposed for misleading its customers. In June 2024, a federal court partly dismissed claims in a proposed class action alleging high levels of lead in certain Premier protein products. Other claims were trimmed or allowed to proceed. And in 2022, Premier's co-manufacturer Lyons Magnus recalled certain 11-ounce Premier protein cartons for potential microbial contamination, Chronobacter and Clostridium botulinum risk, though no botulinum toxin was found. And when you look at the ingredients, things don't get better. Sucralose, ace-sulfame potassium, artificial flavors, gums, thickeners. They give that thick, dessert-like texture, but also the bloating, headaches, and metallic aftertaste reviewers constantly mention. Premier remains a top seller. Bellring, Premier's parent, reported roughly 14% RTD shake volume growth in fiscal 2024, continuing into 2025, driven by expanded retail distribution and promotions. The truth? Premier is still everywhere in 2025, not because it's great, but because it's convenient. It's the habit you buy, not the shake you trust. And when it comes to protein, that's the most dangerous kind of loyalty. But if Premier Protein broke trust through lawsuits, the next brand fell from grace because it couldn't keep up with a world that moved on. Before protein was cool, muscle milk was king. It was in every gym, every college locker room, every corner store, a symbol of strength, endurance, and recovery. But today, it's more nostalgia than nutrition. In 2010, Consumer Reports ran independent testing on several protein powders, and muscle milk came under fire for containing elevated levels of lead and cadmium in certain flavors. The company denied it, reformulated, and pushed forward, but the story stuck. Over the years, its reputation quietly eroded. You could still find it on store shelves, but the packaging feels frozen in time. Glossy labels, artificial vanilla, and that unmistakable chalky aftertaste. Meanwhile, newer brands lean on grass-fed, organic, and third-party tested, phrases muscle milk never caught up with. And while the category moved toward grass-fed, organic, and certified clean labels, muscle milk's positioning hasn't kept pace, which is why it now feels more legacy than leader. In 2025, muscle milk feels like the flip phone of protein shakes. It works, technically, but nobody's excited to use it. It's a product built on legacy, not innovation, and that's the most dangerous place a health brand can be. Because when your image is stronger than your ingredients, the fall is only a matter of time. Walk into any gym in America in 2025 and you'll find it. A glossy bottle of Core Power sitting proudly in the fridge like a trophy. Backed by Fairlife, the same Coca-Cola-owned company that revolutionized ultra-filtered milk, Core Power built its empire on being the smooth, high-protein, low-sugar upgrade. Each bottle boasts 26 to 42 grams of protein, depending on the version, and only a few grams of sugar. On paper, it looks like the gold standard, but read closer and you'll see the usual suspects. sucralose and acesulfame K, the same artificial sweeteners used in diet sodas. Independent lab tests show that while Fairlife's filtration process is impressive, it doesn't make the product clean. It's still ultra-processed milk fortified with isolates, not a natural source of complete protein. Then there's the shadow that never left: Fairlife's animal welfare controversies. The company faced a $21 million settlement in 2022 over animal abuse allegations. The 2022 settlement still hangs over the brand's reputation, even as Core Power's sales remain strong. So while TikTok influencers chug it after workouts, calling it the smoothest shake ever, the truth is far from perfect. Core Power might look like the future of protein, but it's built on an old formula: convenience, sweetness, and brand polish. Consumer trust is now divided. A recent Morning Consult poll showed that 43% of U.S. adults were aware of Fairlife's past controversies, yet half still purchased its products anyway. That's the paradox of modern nutrition. Reputation fades slower than marketing. If this video is opening your eyes, hit the like button. It helps more people see what's really inside these products. And make sure you stay till the end, because what's coming next might be the most misleading label of them all. And that brings us to one that hides behind an even more powerful illusion: health itself. Most people think Ensure is for seniors, those pastel bottles your grandparents drink when they've lost their appetite. But in 2025, Ensure Max Protein has reinvented itself as a fuel for every lifestyle. Commercials show young professionals on the go, gym goers grabbing one after spin class, and slogans like "nutrition that fits your life." But peel back the label and you'll find a different story. Despite its Max Protein name, each bottle delivers 30 grams of protein from milk protein concentrate and isolate, the same cheap, processed base as most budget shakes. What's worse is the artificial sweetener list: sucralose and acesulfame K again, the duo that gives it that chemical aftertaste. Most flavors list roughly 230 to 260 milligrams of sodium per 11 ounces, or about 10 to 11% of daily value. Noticeable if you're watching sodium, but not the 350 milligrams sometimes claimed online. That's still concerning for a brand marketed toward older or health-conscious audiences. And if you think that's all, there's another layer. In 2023, Abbott, Ensure's parent company, faced scrutiny over its nutrition products after contamination concerns in its baby formula division. While unrelated to Ensure, the controversy made consumers question the company's quality controls across the board. And in January 2025, a federal appeals court affirmed dismissal of a proposed class action challenging Ensure labeling. Ensure Max sells itself as balanced nutrition, but it's more like a cleverly disguised processed shake with a health halo. It's not a scandal waiting to happen, it's one already unfolding in slow motion. And if Ensure hides behind healthy, the next brand hides behind something even stronger: organic. Doctor-developed, organic, plant-based. That's the promise that made Orgain one of Amazon's best-selling protein shakes in America. It's the shake you buy when you want to feel good about what you're drinking, the clean alternative to the chemical-laden mainstream. But not everything is as wholesome as it seems. In 2023, a class action alleged some Orgain shakes contained less grass-fed protein than advertised. An earlier 2018 suit claimed certain Orgain products overstated protein content. Independent tests have long shown higher heavy metal traces in pea and rice-based proteins than in whey, a category-wide issue that Orgain hasn't escaped. When you look closer, the formula tells a story of compromise. Pea protein isolates, brown rice protein, and erythritol, a sugar alcohol linked to bloating and digestive discomfort. It's not toxic, but it's far from the pure real food image the marketing suggests. Here's the irony. Orgain was founded by a doctor who wanted to create better nutrition during his cancer recovery. That mission gave it massive credibility, but somewhere along the way, scale beat sincerity. What started as a passion project has turned into a processed product wrapped in wellness branding. Orgain also issued limited recalls for undeclared allergens, sesame in 2023, peanut residue in 2025, reinforcing that even clean brands can stumble on basics like labeling. Orgain's success shows how powerful marketing can be, but organic doesn't mean pure, and that confusion is exactly what keeps these brands thriving. And that might be the biggest deception of all. And the scary part? None of this is ancient history. Every one of these shakes is still on shelves right now in 2025. So, what do all these stories have in common? Premier Protein built an empire on inflated labels. Muscle Milk turned a legacy into a relic. Core Power sold sleek packaging and buried its controversies. Ensure disguised processed ingredients as nutrition, and Orgain proved even the word organic can be used to deceive. It's not just about protein anymore, it's about trust. These products thrive because they understand one thing: people don't read ingredient lists, they read marketing. And the bigger the promise, clean, max, pure, doctor developed, the less likely it is to be true. The deeper you dig, the clearer the pattern becomes. Every shortcut, every lawsuit, every recall comes back to the same motive: profit over purity. Analysts peg the U.S. protein supplement market at roughly $10 to $11 billion in 2025, according to Nielsen IQ and Grandview Research, and it's still growing fast. Yet, many brands still skip third-party certifications like NSF Certified for Sport, Informed Choice, or USP, the seals that actually verify label accuracy and contaminant screening. 2025 has become the year of what experts call protein inflation. More brands, bigger claims, less integrity. From influencers promoting miracle shakes on TikTok to companies exploiting regulatory loopholes, the industry's booming, and consumers are paying the price. The next time you grab a protein shake, remember this: the label might scream 30 grams of protein, but the truth could be far less, and the chemicals far more. That post-workout boost might not be building your body, it could be quietly wearing it down. Because the biggest myth of 2025 isn't about carbs, calories, or macros, it's that the word protein still means purity. Because in 2025, protein isn't rare, integrity is. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who swears by their daily shake, and don't forget to subscribe. Every week, we expose the hidden truths behind the products that claim to keep you healthy, but might be doing the opposite.